Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. Now this time I'm in the city of Napier in New Zealand for the annual Art Deco Festival. It's the weekend of the 21st, 22nd of February, and there's going to be a major vintage car parade, jazz bands and big crowds, as you can see. So without further ado, let's get into it. We'll kick off by having a quick look at the vintage car parade up Emerson Street. You can see the band marching in here, and whilst many of these cars are locally owned, there are also visitors from all over the world to enjoy. After the parade, we'll have a closer look at some of the cars parked around the route. So that's it for the parade, and now we'll start having a look at some of the stationary vehicles, beginning with this Fowler steam traction engine built originally in Leeds. Now if you want historic, this has it in spades. This is a 1905 Rolls-Royce Light 20. Only 40 were ever built between 1905 and 1906, designed by Henry Royce. Two of these competed in the 1905 Isle of Man TT, and in 1906 Charles Rolls won the TT in a Light 20 based car. Tucked in amongst the Rolls-Royces is a Ford, a cute little Austin from 1925, and a 1963 Bentley S3. Then parked together is a matching pair of Rolls-Royces from 1924 and 1926 respectively. Whilst there were not many visible changes, there was development going on under the hood. Now jumping forward to the 1960s, there's this beautiful 1963 Ford Zodiac from Ford of Britain. This was designed by Roy Brown Jr., famous for the Edsel and later for designing the Cortina. This red beauty is a 1925 Packard Phaeton, classified as a senior Packard, meaning it was one of America's most prestigious cars of the period. Now this red car is a 1927 Cadillac. There were more than 50 body styles of the 1927 Cadillac, but I believe this one is the Phaeton. This is a rare car, especially prized among collectors. Now this lovely blue car manoeuvring to leave is a 1948 Packard Clipper. Now the dark red open top car here is a 1930 Chrysler Roadster. Roadster bodies were often imported complete from the USA, whilst sedans were sometimes locally bodied by companies like Holden in Australia. And here's my mate Bernie's 1930 Willys Whippet 96A with a claimed top speed of over 60 miles per hour. These were known for durability. A Whippet famously averaged 56 miles per hour for 24 hours in an endurance trial. Moving a little upmarket with this gorgeous 1927 Cadillac. Now here's another genuinely historic car. This is a Cadillac Model K from 1906. Single cylinder engine, and 14,000 are reportedly in use worldwide. This lovely green car is a Studebaker. Gorgeous condition, and as the banner in the windscreen says, it survived the 1931 Hawke's Bay earthquake. Fabulous. Another historically significant car is this 1939 Mercury Sedan Coupe. This is one of the rarest surviving 1939 body styles, very limited surviving examples, and in my opinion just beautiful. And here is a 1937 Jaguar SS 100, built in Coventry by SS Cars, soon to be renamed Jaguar. For transparency, I don't know whether this is an original car or a replica, but either way it's beautiful. Sorry I didn't have the chance to ask the owner. If you know about this car, please let us know in the comments. Looking elegant and beautiful in the morning sun is this 1951 Rolls-Royce Silver Dawn. The silver car is a 1907 Silver Ghost. And last but not least, a lovely 1905 Rolls-Royce 20.
Are you talking about the car or my wife?
Now here's something very special. It's a 1906 Dirac 120 HP. I hope someone can confirm my information, but it's that this had a top speed of well over 100 miles per hour in period trim, and in race pace averaged 62.7 miles per hour to win the 1906 Vanderbilt Cup. The internet suggests this car was bought by Sir Malcolm Campbell in 1910 and became his first Bluebird. Please confirm if you know. Parked right behind the Dirac is this gorgeous 1937 Cord 812. Some notable firsts for this car. It was the first American production car with hidden headlights, with front-wheel drive and independent front suspension. This beautiful car, proudly displaying its club badges, is a 1934 Bentley 3.5 litre Sports Derby. This model was the first Bentley fully engineered under Rolls-Royce stewardship and marked a shift from the rugged racing-bred Cricklewood cars to a new philosophy of silence, smoothness and performance. This was endorsed by high-profile owners including Sir Malcolm Campbell and Archie Fraser-Nash. Here's a very different kind of Bentley from 1951. This is a Mark VI, utterly beautiful and graceful. Here's another 1934 Bentley 3.5 litre. Again, this is the first of the Derby Bentleys. This one was praised even by W.O. Bentley himself. No doubt he was pleased that it was successful commercially and critically, and it remains one of the most desirable pre-war British sporting cars. Now just take a look at this lovely little thing. It's a 1938 American Bantam 60. If you've never heard of it before, you're in good company, because neither have I. Based on the Austin 7 and utterly charming. And just look at this lovely little thing. It's a Ford V8 from 1935. It's called the Ford Phaeton. And it had side curtains rather than roll-up windows, which made it cheaper than a convertible saloon car. This was one of the last true Phaetons offered by Ford. The body style was fading in popularity by the late 30s, as enclosed cars dominated the market. This British beauty is a Humber Super Snipe. This is the Mark III. Saloons like this one are uncommon. Estates are rarer and Tickford drop heads are exceptionally scarce. Well restored examples, especially New Zealand delivered cars, have very strong provenance. One 1949 Mark II Tickford spent most of his life in New Zealand and underwent an 8-year restoration. Well, that's it from this year's Art Deco Festival in Napier. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's coming up next from us, and do look in again. Thanks for watching.